directly from this or at all, that it will come from the grassroots and not from the top down. And what UCADIA has through the spiritual connection is that whole spiritual realm supporting from the top down. But the flesh brings this to life from the bottom up. So the frustration is until the financial is done, and the financial can't be done until I finish the canons. This became apparent in the last few weeks, that until you've got the canons of monetary law, on economic law, on trade law, then really you're asking people to start using things without all the rules in place. You know, $10 million is a huge amount of money, an enormous amount of money. Huge for me, it'd be huge for you, Roberto, but $10 million to the parasitoids is nothing. It's something they just punch into their computer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If the rules are not in place, they could turn on and make UCADIA legitimate like that, but UCADIA then would be captured into their system and would just be another extension of their system. And we're not here for that. All righty?
You're very wise. Thank you so much for the
I don't know if I'm wise.
You are. You're very honorable.
All right. Well, thank you for everything and what you're doing, and talk to you soon, Roberto. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Look, we're a couple more callers on, so I want to go to V for Vendetta, and then we'll go through any questions you've got on the call. Hello, V. Can you hear us?
Hey, it's a girly mate from Turtle Island there, Frank.
Hi.
Good call. I want to ask a question here. I don't know if it's relevant to the call tonight. Something that popped in my head today. Is there a symmetry between the Roman cult and that of Jacob and Esau? Would you know of one that they're using today?
Yeah, can you give me a bit more information just so I know how you want to position it, so I can?
Well, concerning the birthright that Esau gave up to Jacob, and I was just wondering if there was a symmetry between that, and because I know they use symbolism and stuff, so I would imagine they had taken that as perhaps a canon and used it to twist it to their own advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the Bible is the most brilliantly designed legal instrument. So the Bible is, the 66 books of the Bible is their bedrock of law. It's their rule of law. And so all the core precedents and provenance that they claim has all been brilliantly included in the Bible. So absolutely yes. The short answer is yes.
Well, I would be sure there would be, because that is such a relevant event that happened at that time, that of giving up and the birthright and perhaps the symbolism that showed of Esau not having a concern or just kind of this, not taking it to heart what actually he was doing, and just kind of like just say, yeah, you can have it, but he kind of had his brother over the barrel. He was hungry, so. Yeah,
well, I think what I would say is, sorry to jump in there. What I'd say is, and I want to do this. I want to pay homage to anyone that has heard or known or believed that if one knows the Word of God, for those that have studied the Bible and believe it in that sense, that this should be enough to stand. If the corporations hadn't have been created in the 19th century, then that would be true. If you think about everything that we've been speaking about in the last few weeks, it's been because of the overlays of the corporate code, the corporate malfeasance, that we don't get remedy purely in our knowledge of the origin of law in the Bible. Yeah?
Right.
So I just wanted to qualify that as a wrap-up, yeah.
Yeah, you did go over that quite a bit. You did last week or the week before, and I kind of would like to address that maybe next week. I have a little bit I want to actually bring that out last week, but I didn't get into the call fast enough to. And sometimes I just don't want to take your time up for what I have on my mind. But maybe next week I'll bring that point out and something that I kind of got revealed to me. So
Okay.
I'll let you go, mate, and good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Look, before I get to Ron, the next caller, and look, thank you so much for everyone who's come on and spoken. We do have a number of questions in the chat now, and I just want to get through some of those quickly that have been put in, and then we can keep going. Guest 9 asked the question, can you talk about any significance of the post offices around the world having the power structure, posting documents? Absolutely, yes. The post office is a private agency that connects the estates together. The post office was created by one of the noble families connected with the ruling elite, and the international laws concerning post between the estates is treated very, very seriously. Now, what makes the post office effective as opposed to the postal service is that it demands the fiduciary. Remember we said administrative law and fiduciary law? It demands the fiduciary law and fiduciary actions are followed by those that have been elected into office in handling the post office. And if they don't, then there are severe penalties. So I want to make that clear. The post office system around the world is a private franchise, so it's private. It's directly connected into Rome. It's the connection between all the estates, and even if the corporations, as they have done, overlaid their own internal courier service, and they call it the postal service, if one identifies mail fraud, for example, with elected officials, even if they are hiding behind their agency indemnity, if one calls on the post office, one can actually get a proper investigation for postal fraud. So it's very, very powerful. I hope I explained that. Let me go to the next question quickly before I get on to Ron. Jazzy7 asked the question, is there a transcript? Will there be a transcript of the talk show? Yes, there is. These are available on University of UCADIA. Please go and check them out. Morpheus asked the question, monitor notes, letters of removal of pledges from UK, USA, UCADIan style. Not too sure, Morpheus, exactly what you mean by that as a question. So if you want to add some more information, it's Lee. Hi, Lee. Yeah, if you want to add some more in, just add in, and hopefully I can answer that in a bit better detail. Look, let's get to Ron, and then please, any questions you have, please put them in the chat, and we'd love to hear from you. Hi, Ron, can you hear us?
Hi, Frank. I can hear you fine.
Great.
Do you mind if I have a couple of minutes to explain what is going on with the will and testament package?
Would love you to, please.
Okay. Now, I've been doing the creating Word documents so everybody can basically edit their own documents. So I completed all of the documents necessary to get them either recorded or filed into the county recorder. This is along with the will and testament document. I released the document to approximately 8 people for their input and editing suggestions. So I have received back quite a lot of information, and I'm going through the documents now and correcting any minor errors. Now, the real problem we've had is we've been working with people in Idaho, and Idaho has, as part of their recording function, not to accept any document that has the word will on it. And that's because they say no will can be admitted unless it is by order of the probate court. So we've been trying to work around that one. yesterday we tried to get a notice of existence of will and testament. We thought a notice would do it. Nope, had the word will in the title. So they rejected it. I've created another document called an affirmation. And Frank, did you see that?
I haven't had a look yet, but I will.
Oh, I'm thinking maybe an affirmation.
No pun intended.
Darn, I'm going to have to call back.
All right, Ron. Okay,
bye.
Okay, bye. So Ron's going to call us back, and then we'll keep going. Yes, look, let's keep going through here. And if you want to speak to us, please press star at #8. We'd love to hear from you. A couple more questions in the chat here. Guest 14 asked the question, in rejection notices that list and argue against the presumptions of the court, how does the unlimited jurisdiction established in the Supreme Court of Victoria apply to the courts in the US? It is the same concept that they are appointed by letters patent that effectively gives them immunity. That is that they there are two presumptions of agency appointment. One is you appointing them as agent, and the second, particularly in courts within Australia and courts in Canada, where the judges are officially appointed by a mechanism like a letters patent, that instrument gives them the warrant, gives them the claimed agent powers over any fiduciary obligation. So I would suggest that in those cases, the arguments going down the road of I do not recognise you as an agent is going to be more difficult, and which again emphasises the importance of getting on top of perfecting your identity as the office of occupant or occupant of the office of General Executor. As proof of what I've just said, just remember what just happened in Canada. Canada and Australia have a lot of similarities, and in Canada, which is shown to be very, very difficult for people to get any kind of remedy, there is a demonstration of what happens when one perfects one's position in the occupant of the office of General Executor and then the correct appointment of an administrator by warrant. The system will recognise those powers without having to get into the debate of agent and fiduciary, the dual capacity of the judge. So I hope that answers that question there for you, guest 14. Just another quick question before we go on. Let's see, we've got another quick question there. We'll have a look there. I don't see other questions yet. We'll go to the next caller in Northwest New York, and then we'll keep going. Hello, Northwest New York. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi, Frank. Dean Sandstrom here.
Hi, Dean.
How are you doing tonight?
Good.
Excellent talk, by the way. Really enjoying it.
Thanks.
I would just, put my, proverbial 2 cents in here. Listening to a talk show, and they had a gentleman on by the name of Roger Sales.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with his work?
I can't say no. I haven't spent much time looking at so I don't really know much about no.
I wouldn't expect you to. I just happened upon him today. And this gentleman had perfected a document using an affidavit. And I can post a link in the chat. And if folks want to look at it, they can take a look. But essentially, it pretty much pertains to folks in the USA. And he uses one of the provisions of the 14th Amendment. And essentially, when the 14th Amendment was passed, you know how the Romans are, they like to lie. I mean, they won't present it to us, they'll hide it in smoke and mirrors. But basically, it worked like this. That amendment only applied to the slaves and people that lived within the District of Columbia. So they tricked folks into basically voluntary slavery by saying I'm a citizen or and I'm a red